Hello there, Cupcake. If you had any ounce of integrity as a human being put on this earth to do good for others, you would confirm our friendship in the comment section right now. And you are going to now watch me read this quick thread on looking for a competitive edge in DeFi. We are going to talk about PulseChain, the Ponzi tokens, the fake coins, the fake airdrop. I use fake tongue-in-cheek because there is actually something magical going on, and we're going to go through it here because you are my friend. We saw a paper hand Soyboy, a disciple of the soy, capitulated out of fake wrapped Bitcoin from PulseChain. Now, I say fake because it's easier to say fake wrapped Bitcoin, but the real thing is it's the Pulse wrapped BTC. Okay, these tickers are getting a bit of a mouthful, if you know what I mean. Okay, we're going to go through this. So it's the native PulseChain. It is the airdropped wrapped Bitcoin that were given to wBTC holders. So he sold 1,500 Pulse wrapped Bitcoin, pulled the liquidity, and he dumped. Big, fat, smelly. Yeah, it's very smelly, all right. He dumped it, okay? And then he dumped 40% in one go. Literally, click. Now, this is fantastic. I love seeing this. This takes me, I feel at home now. I feel at home. We're wrestling crocodiles part-time. It's a dusty room. I feel like I never left because this is what you want to see. Why? You're thinking you're so crazy. Why would you want to see this? It's because you want to buy irrational, poopy head, selling frenzies. You don't want to buy the tippy tops of green candles, okay? So this is the chart here. You want to zoom in? You want to zoom in because we're friends? Yeah, we want to zoom in. What are you inclined to buy? Most people are inclined. You see this big box? They want to go, oh, give me it. It's mooning to the moon. I must get in now. That is danger. That's exit liquidity. We want to buy on the deep, dark red. And we're going to zoom into the one that just happened now. Okay, so luckily I make these pictures for you. Thank you very much. By the way, like, subscribe, press the bell button. No, I appreciate you. Every single one of these videos released for you, your friends, your family, make you smarter, make you wiser, make you friendlier. We spread some good vibes to the world. So continuing, we have this zoomed in chart. You can see this big fat red candle. Now, where this happens, trust me, I watch these and I think, oh crap, something happened. There's a bug. Oh no, he knows something. Trust me, that's my first reaction every time. I'm like, ooh, it's over. But then most of the time, 99.99% of the times when you see these in markets, it's not because someone knows something. It's because they're just little disciple of the soy. They wear crumpled slippers. They hunch their backs. Their water, it's not cold. They don't use any ice cubes. They don't even have an ice cube tray in their fridge. They don't know what ice cubes are. Those are these types of people who do this, okay? So when they go, they get out. This is literally minus 43% in one click. Can you believe it? Like, who the hell sells for a minus 43% slippage instantly? It's just, you know what it is? It's a capitulator. It's literally who says, I'm selling, I quit. They throw in the hands, okay? Throw in the hands, they throw in the towel, they throw in all the orifices of their body. They got no dignity left, okay? So here I am continuing. Low testosterone traders will only chart in USD. Wow, that took a turn, didn't it? Charting in USD. What are we talking about here? Let's continue, okay? So people who chart in USD, which is the US dollar. Do you know this? The world reserve currency or fiat itself, okay? People who do this, they are spinning their wheels on airdrop farming guides. They are leverage trading, casino hunting. They are buying meme coin tickets. That's these types of people. If you notice, there's a common theme with them. They are short-term. Yes, you know, you might even say to me, they go, excuse me, how is farming airdrop short-term? I'll tell you why it's short-term. It's because people see a long-term reward up here that I show, and they say, no, that's too uncertain, that's too long-term, get rid of it. So instead of seeing this long-term return, what they would rather do, they'd rather go all the way down here and get a nice little guaranteed little return here because it's certain. It's because they know, okay, they know this ZK sync or this layer poop, whatever it is, layer 2 poop with the VC. They all have VC insiders and the scum thieves, by the way. So all these VCs and insiders, they just did like a $100 or $400 million round, so they're going to do an airdrop, and it's certain to them. It's certain. It's short term. They know that the funding round is done. They're now playing for the exact thing. Okay, that's why it's all short-term gratification, all of these. Go listen to Warren Buffett. Not once does he say, yeah, take your money out on a 2x after 1 year. He doesn't say that. He says, buy stocks of companies that you would love to hold for 10 years, okay? Me and you, we're going to be friends for 10 years, where the prices go negative or to the moon. You got to find something that you're willing to go in that. Now, of course, are we going to hold for 10 years? Most likely not, because people get excited. But that's the type of mentality we're talking about, okay? These people don't have it. So when you chart in USD, people are charting this way. That's what their mindset is, short-term thinking. I chart in ratios, okay? Yes, this is a little squiggly man with a gym weight over his head. So what I have here is the pulse-wrapped Bitcoin versus pulse ratio chart. So this is it. This is the chart here. So there's a button up here, friends. So if you go up here, see up here, switch to WPLS. If you click on it, then, so you can move it. I'll click on it right now because we are friends. I'm confirming it right now. See this? Right now, we are in the spread price. Wow, this is a spread. You see on the right-hand side? Like, wow, I don't understand what's going on. Don't worry about these numbers. Don't worry about these spread price. All you got to look at is the pattern of the chart. That's all you got to look at, okay? But if you chart in USD, that's what everyone's looking at. Everyone's looking at, oh, wow, this thing's $80, $80. Now, here is an example I show you why you are an advantage when you're only looking at USD. Trust me, don't listen to any founder, any leader, any community dude, any paid group influencer. Do not listen to them when they say that spreads are useless and to chart in USD. Why? It's because they are lowering, this is the hurdle rate. Okay, you got to climb over this. What they're doing is when they say chart in USD, they bring it down here. Because if Ethereum goes up 10x, but your poop coin goes up like 7x, they're like, wow, see, we won. You made 700%. Nope, you lost money. Because most likely they took the funds, they have them in Ethereum or Bitcoin, they kept the lion's share, you get little, okay? You get nothing. Just look at the XRP BTC chart. It's been like sideways for 10 years, okay? It literally is down sideways for 10 years, not joking. Okay, so this chart is the ratio, okay? So when you see this, I'm going to go and show you right now. Look at this, okay, friends? When you chart in USD, let's read this together. Your mind relates it to things that you know already. So this is now I'm blowing your mind. Thank you very much, friends. High value content. So I tell it to you straight here. Okay. So here's the example I use. For example, a wrapped Bitcoin when it was $79, this pulse wrapped Bitcoin. Okay. It's worth about one lap dance at Sensible Strippers on a Tuesday. Literally Tuesday afternoon, you're having your little sandwich. They're giving you orange juice. You know, the ice cube machine doesn't even work. You're like, well, what am I doing here? It's pretty like smelly. And it's a Tuesday, for God's sake. The sun's still out. And you're there at Sensible Strippers, $79. Do you see how your mind knows, okay, what's worth $79? What are other coins worth? What's another $80 coin? That's all automatically how you think. This is a disadvantage because you start pricing things relative to each other that have nothing to do with each other, okay? That's what you start doing. You go, oh, this is $80 and this is $100 and whatever it is, okay? That's not how you're meant to price these, okay? It's just like with Bitcoin, okay? Newbies will say, Bitcoin is too expensive at $50,000, all right? That's what they'll say. But a professional will say, okay, but the spread between Bitcoin versus gold is still, I think, got enormous upside. And then you can also look at its spread of its market cap. You can look at the ratio of its total valuation size. How about that? Do you see the difference there, friends? If you're looking at the dollar value, Bitcoin's super expensive. If you're looking at the spread, you might say Bitcoin is super cheap. And also you can look at the spread of Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ. You can also say that's cheap. You can chart them too. So you open your mind when you do these, okay? So let's go. And for God's sake, you have to have a steak at the strip club, please. Okay, so let's go on. So it's impossible to identify value if you're just charting in USD. You don't know what value is. You just think, oh, $5 is cheap. Why? Why the number 5? Why not 4? Why not 15? Right? So why not $1? Why isn't 10 cents cheap for Bitcoin, right? That's how you have to think about it. So you are playing with folks who wear crumpled slippers. Once you start only looking at these. Now, of course, I look at them. I look at the charts, but that's not where I get my idea of what's relative value, what's cheap, what's expensive, okay? Professionals are not charting in USD. I'll tell you right now, I've worked with Penny, okay? Now, let's go this. Let's go into, this is the choir angels singing. This is the birds chirping. The clouds are moving. You know, like the Simpsons introduction. This is it, okay? So when you chart in a ratio, and you don't have to always chart, just have a look, right? Just perv, okay? Look, but don't touch, right? You need consent. Sign the consent form before you enter. When you chart in a ratio, you have to start thinking about your valuation from another perspective. It forces you to. So when you chart in a ratio, I'm going to show you right now. For example, like this. Wrapped Bitcoin is, see, $79, but that's also, look at this number. Look at this. 867,000 wrapped Pulse. 867,000 Pulse. What is that? Look at this. How many lap dances can I get with 867,000 Pulse? I have no idea. Do you take crypto? All right? You got to ask them. Look at this part. Because we are now in a different pricing zone, right? This is in your mind psychologically. We start to be ahead of the retailers who will only come in to buy the next crypto cycle top, okay? If you are not on the side of the professionals who know what they're doing, you're a sucker. That's how the game is, friends. You know the game, right? The game is a pyramid. It's literally a pyramid, okay? It's winner takes all. This person wins, okay? This person wins. Literally, it's a stripper here dancing on the strip pole. Yes, she's twirling around with her little legs out. Woo, 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 woo. Right? She's going sideways, and everyone out here is just a pleb. Yous are just plebs in the audience. You're just watching. You're throwing in your $2 notes, whatever. You don't win. You don't win, okay? All of this. If you're not a professional, you're a sucker. That's how the game is, right? 1 wins, 9 lose. That's how it is, okay? Now, here's the thing as well. When you look at the real stats in the game, by the way, okay, it's 1 wins a lot, okay? 3 win a little, and 4 just outright lose, okay? Or 6 outright lose like this. This is after brokerage and stuff. That's what it is. 1, 3, and 6 around this, okay? That's actually the real number. But you know these 3 people that win for trading and investing and everything, the amount they're winning is so negligible, they're better off working a proper job. For example, in trading and investing, right? The average, the people who start to win, remember, this includes people who made $1,000 for the year. Okay. It also includes people who made like $100,000 for the year. You think, well, you put all this effort, you're barely kind of winning, and your edge diminishes over time. Is it even worth doing that? That's how the game really works. Okay. That's why it's really when a winner takes all. Okay. So these retailers are going to come by the top, and now you're charting in a spread, right? This is a spread price. Remember this chart, friends? This is the actual spread price chart. You get to see this. It's different. So we start drawing rectangles and boxes. We're going to show you right now. So we're going to have it here right here. Look at this. This chart is the Pulse wrapped Bitcoin to the Pulse spread. So here is non-advice example. Okay, so this is non-financial advice. Okay, if you click the button, you lose, it's all on you. At the lows, like now, you could start to buy your Pulse wrapped Bitcoin. So this is just telling you, okay, this is a spread, okay? So when it comes in this box, which is right here, what it's saying is, it says Pulse wrapped Bitcoin is cheap versus Pulse, okay? So if it was cheap versus Pulse, you would spend your Pulse, your PLS, you would spend it and you would buy some Pulse wrapped Bitcoin here. This is to participate in this spread on here. This is how you would trade the chart, if you will. You're trading a relationship here. And you would start to accumulate. Now, obviously, if I was doing it, don't go all in. Don't go all in. But it would be sensible, if you want to participate, put in a tiny bit. You never know, man. What if this does a 10x? Like, for example, okay, please put your gun down. Put your water pistol down. You're going to get us all kicked out. Please, the ladies need to earn a living. Put the water pistol down so they can dance for us. It's a Tuesday, for God's sake. So, all right. They got kids to feed. Now, when you are deploying, you can think of it like this. You might think, all right, I want to deploy 100,000 PLS. Okay, this is one example. You could put 100,000 PLS, okay? And you might say, well, what if one day this 10x's? Okay, that's one way to think about it. See this right here. So this, let's say it goes all the way down here. This is a price of 500,000 Pulse. Now imagine one day it goes to 5 million Pulse. So if the chart, I'm talking like 2 years, by the way. If in 2 years something wild happens and somehow this actually goes up here, your 100,000 Pulse here, okay, you've bought Pulse wrapped Bitcoin. You own Pulse wrapped Bitcoin, okay? Now, if the spread price gets up here, your Pulse wrapped Bitcoin value, if you clicked sell in app.pulsex.com, it will give you back 1 million Pulse, okay? 1 million PLS, okay? Now, whenever I tell this to people, they get confused. They say, but what's the price of PLS? We don't know. It's a spread. Okay, you want to know the USD price. You still have that fiat mindset, okay? Forget it. USD is depreciating over time. The USD currency is a poopy. All fiat's a poopy. So over every 5 to 10 years, I mean, the cost of bananas went up, of course. Crypto is going to go up over 5 to 10 years, man. It's fine. It's going to be fine, okay? So you got to get out of this absolute pricing mechanism from the fiat world. You got to start thinking about spreads. But you got to think about that. 1 million pulse. And if you want to know, like, how do you look forward to a better future tomorrow? So imagine you put 100,000 pulse, which is worth nothing today. It's worth $9, literally $9, okay? If you were to turn that 100,000 pulse, if this works out, right, and you get 1 million pulse, and then you just literally left it somewhere. I mean, funny enough, you might even say, hey, I'm going to do Maddie Allen's time lock thing. I'm just going to lock it up for 5 years. You never know, right? So you never know. You could do something like that, right? And you might say, you might dream. You might say, hey, by the year 2030, do you think PLS could be 1 cent? Okay, because think about this. Your $9 would have turned into, remember, you've made 1 million pulse now. You now have $10,000. Okay, so that is the potential future. Now, of course, these are ifs and maybes and a long time, but I'm just showing you the power of spreads. Okay, because what you're effectively doing here, what we do is we set a very high target for the base currency you want to produce. For example, Bitcoin. You know how to do it with Bitcoin, right? So you know, okay, what if in the year 2030, you knew that Bitcoin is $500,000, okay? 2030. So you might say, okay, my job is to get every single Bitcoin I can get today. Go, well, yeah, this is what we're doing right now. This is a way of gaining more of your base currency that you want to collect, that you think is going to outperform, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum. And this is one way to play in the ecosystem right now, okay? Now, I'm only focusing on this because this is really cool to see these guys panic out and paper hand out, and for us to witness what being a disciple of the soy means. They're just throwing stuff away. This is what we want to see. And because Richard Hart's ecosystem and PulseChain is so hated, it's so asymmetric to even believe that it could mildly work, this presents opportunity. You don't get these in other charts. You don't. They're not selling down 40% in one click. People are staying in there. They're doing these fake tweets. They're trying to lure all the retailers in, and their charts go like, oh, and they just, guess what? They never have this big capitulation. You know why? Because the insiders are already in, and they're dumping slowly when retailer comes in, and retail's only going to come in at the very, very top. So you don't get these charts. You don't get these huge freaking destruction candles down. So it's very rare when you find them that you can participate in them because they don't exist. Most of them don't exist. Now, of course, the whole prospect is going to be pulse wrapped Bitcoin. It's not redeemable for anything. So yeah, you don't have to touch this one, but you know how to do this. You know how to do this. This is a principle that you can live by for everything else. Any other chart you can look at. ETH BTC is a ratio itself, right? Anything charted against Bitcoin, it's a ratio itself. Okay. So remember, I've shown you Dex Screener is cool. It lets you click the price with one button. You get to chart with a spread. And because you are a wonderful sweet cupcake, this is the PulseX to Pulse spread, okay? PulseX to Pulse. Now, this is why, see, this is more safe. There is more, I mean, it's not safe per se, but it's more safe than Pulse wrapped Bitcoin. But you're going to see why. If you bought it here, right, this ratio where it is right now, 0.3, look how much Pulse you would earn if it went back to near the top. You earn plus 50%. That ain't that much, right? In the example I just showed you for Pulse wrapped Bitcoin, because there's so much uncertainty, if that worked out, you would get a 10x, right? So instead of plus 50%, you would get plus 500% to plus 1000%. So you got like more risk, more reward, right? If that works out. But that's why play all of them, man. You don't have to don't go all in, all out, friends. Like this stuff I'm talking about, this fake wrapped Bitcoin stuff, it's really fun to have a look at all these other coins. You never know, man. Just throw in a couple of bit. I mean, literally, I gave you the blueprint, by the way. So, you know, I just told it to you right now. I'm like 100,000 pulse is like $9, $9 to $10. Throw a couple of them in, and maybe we'll see in the next 2 years, is there some sort of run in any of these coins? You never know. Some of them might go 5x, 10x. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the way you should see it is any pulse you can get is worth gold, because obviously, look at this, because, you know, my final message for you, friends, BTC is great. ETH is even better. PLS is even better, even more better, right? And that's because just the risk curve, right? Because if we think Bitcoin, this is why. If we think let's say Bitcoin's gonna scam us at $80,000. That's like a 2.5x, okay, from here. So collecting Bitcoin's great because you can 2.5x your USD if you get in, okay? But what if Ethereum goes a 5x from here? What if Ethereum hits like $10,000, okay? You see how collecting Ethereum's even better? Obviously, this is speculating, friends. This is 100% speculating. We don't know the future. As you go down this risk curve, you introduce more risk. But what if Pulse beats Ethereum by, I know you're gonna get upset at this, but what if it beats Ethereum by 5x? So that would be a 25 times on your money in this cycle. I know everybody says 100x, of course, but just put that out to the side now, okay? Yes, look, friends, just to let you know, look, I could easily just write 2,500x. I could just write this down. I don't, okay? I'm being truthful to you, okay? We've got to prepare for the scamming downside part. We just got to be prepared, okay? So just be prepared. That's all I'm saying, okay? Just like, okay, look. So Pulse, even if it does a 25x, you still killed everyone. We destroyed everyone. Most of the money is still in Bitcoin, man. Right? We're sitting with a 25 times in our money. Everybody else is sitting 2.5x on Bitcoin at the top. And they're not exiting at the top, mind you. Right? They're going to ride it back down, minus 50% from that point. So yeah, really, by the time they realize they got scammed, they're only 1.25x, okay? So now do you see why we have to get a competitive edge over the market? And now you've been able to do it. This is one extra tool in your toolbox using spreads. Thank you once again for liking, subscribing, press the bell button, and all. Tell mum and dad, spreads are yummy, especially on our toast. Catch you in the next one.